You're here because you want to get past the noise, right? Straight to what matters.
And here at the Deep Dive, that's what we aim for. We dig into the sources, connect the dots.
And deliver the essentials efficiently.
Today, we're diving into something really quite interesting, I think. Google's new agent-to-agent protocol, A2A.
Yeah, A2A. Sounds technical, maybe, but this feels like more than just an update.
Oh, definitely. It's about how AI agents could actually start working together properly.
For businesses, for individuals, it unlocks things that honestly seemed pretty far off until now.
Like moving from solo apps to, a whole team of AI working in sync.
So for this deep dive, we've looked at Google's own announcement.
Yeah, and the open source spec they put on GitHub. Very detailed.
Plus, what some of the tech analysts and experts are saying on YouTube, get a rounded view.
Right.
And our mission today. Pretty simple. Figure out what A2A actually is, how it ticks.
And crucially, what kind of game-changing things it might enable.
Exactly. And to make that real, we're going to use a hypothetical company, let's call them, Innovate Solutions, Inc.
Okay, Innovate Solutions.
And we'll brainstorm how A2A could give them a real edge, doing things in totally new ways.
This sounds good. So let's start with the problem A2A is trying to solve.
Yeah, the why.
Well, right now, AI agents are often stuck in their own little boxes, different frameworks, different companies.
Getting them to talk to each other is messy.
It can be very messy. Complex integrations, custom code. It's a barrier. They don't collaborate easily.
Like different tools that just don't fit together.
Precisely. So Google's vision with A2A is to build bridges between these boxes.
Okay.
Imagine agents that can reach across different data systems, different apps, and actually coordinate tasks.
Like a proper digital workforce.
Exactly. And the promise isn't just, a slight improvement. It's about much more autonomy, bigger productivity jumps.
And I assume lower costs eventually.
That's the goal. Streamlining these complex workflows should definitely drive down costs.
What really caught my eye was the list of partners. This isn't just Google pushing something, is it?
No, not at all. It's an open protocol, and they've got, over 50 partners already?
Yeah, big names, too. Atlassian, Box, Salesforce, SAP.
Cohere, Intuit, Langchain, which loads of developers are using, ServiceNow.
And the big consulting firms are in, too. Accenture, Deloitte, PwC.
BCG, KPMG, TCS, Wipro. Yeah, the whole suite. That level of buy-in, it really signals something.
It suggests this has legs. That the industry sees real potential here.
Definitely increases the odds of adoption, I'd say. It's a collaborative push.
Now, something else came up. How does this A2A fit with Anthropic's MCP, the Model Context Protocol? Are they competing?
Good question. No, they're actually seen as complementary.
Okay, how so?
Think of MCP as being about giving one agent the right tools and context it needs for its job, empowering the individual AI.
Got it. Like giving a worker the right screwdriver and instructions.
Exactly. Whereas A2A is about how different agents, maybe each with their own tools, can then talk and work together on a bigger task. It's about the team communication.
So MCP for the individual, A2A for the team collaboration.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to put it. They solve different pieces of the puzzle.
Right, that clarifies the what's and why. Let's get into the how. How does A2A actually make these agents talk? Without getting lost in the weeds, hopefully.
Right, let's keep it accessible. At its heart, it's about discovery and communication.
Discovery, like finding each other.
Exactly. The first piece is the agent card.
Agent card.
Yeah, think of it like a digital business card for an AI agent. It's a standard file, usually at a specific web address.
Like a .well-known address.
Precisely, .wellknownagent.json. And this card lists what the agent can do, its skills, its capabilities, its own web address, its endpoint URL, and how other agents need to authenticate, prove who they are to use it.
So it's like a public profile saying, here I am, here's what I do, and here's how to talk to me securely.
You got it. That card is key for agents to find each other and understand what they offer without needing manual setup every time. It's like a self-serve directory.
A directory, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so one agent finds another using its agent card. Then what?
Then you get the interaction between an A2A server and an A2A client.
A server and client. Standard stuff.
Pretty standard. The server is the agent offering the service that listens for requests on its endpoint. The client is the agent, or maybe an application, that wants to use that service.
So the client has a job it needs help with, finds a relevant server agent, and reaches out.
Correct. And the unit of work they exchange is called a task.
A task. Makes sense.
And these tasks have a life cycle. It gets submitted, then it's working. Maybe it needs more info, so it's input required.
That I'm fully completed or maybe failed or canceled if things go wrong.
Exactly. A clear status progression.
How do they pass the actual information back and forth? The instructions, the data, the results?
Through messages.
Yeah.
And each message contains one or more parts. Yeah, a part is just a unit of content. Could be text, could be a file like a PDF or an image or structured data. Pretty flexible.
Okay, so messages carry the conversation made up of these parts.
And when a task finishes successfully, the server agent produces an artifact. That's the final output, the result. And that artifact can also contain multiple parts.
Messages for the chat, artifacts for the final product. Got it. What about jobs that take ages? Like not instant results?
Yeah, crucial point. A2A is built for both quick tasks and long-running ones.
How does it handle the long ones without the client just waiting and waiting?
It uses streaming, specifically server-sent events or SSE.
SSE, so the server can push updates.
Exactly. The client, or even a person watching, can get progress updates in near real time, like processing step 3 of 5.
That's much better than just polling constantly.
Definitely. And it also supports push notifications. The server can ping a specific address the client provides when, say, the task is fully complete.
So efficient updates for longer jobs. And is it just text they're passing around?
No, and that's another key design point. A2A is modality agnostic. Meaning it's not just built for text. The architecture supports other things too, like streaming audio or video.
Oh, interesting. So agents could potentially collaborate on multimedia tasks in the future.
That's the idea. Opens up possibilities for, richer virtual assistants, collaborative content creation, things like that.
And you mentioned it uses familiar tech.
Yeah, it builds on standard web stuff, HTTP, SSE, and JSON RPC.
JSON RPC, right, for the remote calls.
Using established standards makes it way easier for developers and companies to actually integrate this into their existing systems. Lower friction.
And security. Always a concern with things talking to each other.
Big focus. It's designed to be secure by default. Supports proper enterprise-level authentication and authorization. Think things like oath, similar to what you'd see with APIs using open API specs.
Good. That's essential for businesses to trust this.
Absolutely critical.
Okay, this paints a really interesting picture. Agents discovering each other, securely delegating tasks, handling long jobs, even multimedia.
It's a solid foundation.
So let's bring it back to our fictional company, Innovate Solutions, Inc. How could they actually use A2A to do something amazing, something treasonously impossible or just too hard? Let's brainstorm some concrete examples.
Okay, let's workshop this. Example number 1. Think about their HR and recruitment.
Always a bottleneck, hiring.
Totally. So Innovate has an internal HR agent. Using A2A, this agent could find and talk to, say, a specialized talent acquisition agent, maybe one offered by LinkedIn or another platform.
Okay.
The HR agent sends the job description. The talent agent goes off, finds candidates, maybe even does initial screening.
Autonomous.
That's the goal. Then the HR agent could use A2A to connect to a scheduling agent to automatically set up interviews based on everyone's availability, and maybe even connect to a background check agent to handle that part too, all orchestrated by the primary HR agent.
That would take a huge load off the HR team. Speed things up massively.
Exactly. Frees them up for more strategic work. Okay, second example.
Hit me.
Supply chain. Often complex, lots of moving parts. Innovate deploys a supply chain agent.
Right.
This agent uses A2A to talk to, first, a market analysis agent, maybe from a financial data provider, to get forecasts on demand shifts.
Proactive insights.
Yeah. Then, based on that, it talks to a logistics agent from, say, FedEx or Maersk to optimize shipping routes and costs in real time.
Adapting on the fly.
And it could also talk directly to a supplier agent from one of their parts vendors to automatically negotiate and place orders based on inventory and the demand forecast.
A self-managing supply chain.
Almost.
Getting closer to it. Much more intelligent and adaptive than typical systems today.
That's seriously powerful. Okay, what else? How about customer interaction?
Good one. Customer service. Innovate has its main customer service agent that interacts with customers.
Like a chatbot, but smarter? Potentially, yes. But here's the A2A twist. When a customer asks something, this agent can use A2A to query an internal knowledge base agent for quick answers.
Okay, standard knowledge retrieval.
But if it's a technical issue, it could seamlessly hand off the relevant details to a specialized troubleshooting agent designed for diagnostics.
Without the customer noticing the handover, ideally.
Exactly. And if it's really complex, it could even route the query again using A2A, to a specialist agent, which might actually be a human expert flagged as available in the system, bringing them in smoothly.
So layers of support, all coordinated seamlessly. That improves the customer experience a lot.
Right. Faster, more accurate answers. Okay, number 4, marketing.
Always looking for an edge in marketing.
So Innovate's marketing agent, it uses A2A to connect to an audience insights agent, maybe from a data analytics platform, to really nail down the target demographic for a campaign.
Better targeting.
Then it could potentially work with a content creation agent, maybe powered by something like GPT-4 or Claude, to generate draft ad copy and visuals tailored to that audience.
Automated creative generation.
Yeah, or at least first drafts. And then it uses A2A again to talk to an ad platform agent. Think Google Ads or Facebook Ads API represented as an agent to launch the campaign, monitor results, and even auto-optimize the bids and creative based on performance.
Wow, closing the loop completely. Data in, optimized campaign out.
Highly targeted, highly efficient, less guesswork. Okay, one more for Innovate Solutions.
Let's do it.
Data silos. Every company struggles with this. Data stuck in different systems.
The eternal problem.
So Innovate creates an integration agent. Its job is to use A2A to talk to various data source agents. Each of these represents a database, a CRM, an ERP system, whatever.
Like adapters for each system, but speaking A2A.
Exactly. The integration agent securely pulls the needed data, maybe transforms it, and feeds it into a central reporting agent.
And the reporting agent.
It uses that unified data to generate the comprehensive business intelligence reports managers need, automatically, without the nightmare of manual data wrangling.
Real-time, unified reporting across the business. That's huge.
It really is. Breaking down those silos is a game changer for understanding performance.
These examples really drive home the potential. It's not just incremental. It feels transformative for a company like Innovate. But what about outside big companies? Does A2A offer anything for, say, small businesses?
Great question. And yes, I think it does. While those Innovate examples are sophisticated, the underlying idea agents providing specialized services could be huge for smaller players too.
How so?
It could democratize access to AI. A small e-commerce shop, maybe they can't afford to build a complex inventory system.
Right.
But maybe their main supplier offers a restocking agent that speaks A2A. The shop's simple inventory agent could then just talk to the supplier's agent via A2A whenever stock runs low.
So they get sophisticated automation without building it all themselves.
Exactly. They leverage the supplier's capability through this common language. It levels the playing field somewhat.
And you mentioned earlier maybe marketplaces for these agents, like an app store.
Yeah, that's a definite possibility. An agent store where developers or companies offer specialized agents, a translation agent, a data analysis agent, a scheduling agent that anyone can integrate with using A2A.
That creates a whole new ecosystem.
It really could. So the broad benefits are, efficiency, automating complex stuff, less manual grunt work, faster reactions.
And being able to pick the best AI tool for a specific job, not just using whatever's in one big platform.
Precisely. Mix and match the best specialist agents. It fosters competition and innovation.
It really feels like it lowers the barrier to building these multi-agent systems that people have talked about for a while.
Absolutely. Makes it much more practical and achievable.
Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive on A2A, what are the absolute key takeaways?
I'd say number 1, it's about seamless, secure communication between diverse AI agents, breaking down the silos.
The interoperability piece.
Yeah. Number 2, it's open and collaborative. That huge list of partners suggests real momentum. It's not just a single vendor lock-in attempt.
Important distinction. And if people want to learn more, dig deeper.
It's all out there. The full spec draft, code examples, documentation. It's on the A2A website and the GitHub repo.
And Google wants community input.
They're actively encouraging it. Feedback, contributions to the spec, to the code. It's meant to be community-driven.
And this is coming soon, right?
Yeah.
Not just theoretical.
They're aiming for a production-ready version later this year. So, yeah, it's moving from concept to reality.
Something to watch closely then.
Definitely. It's still early days, of course. It'll evolve based on feedback and real-world use, but the direction is clear.
Well, this has been fascinating, a really insightful look at A2A. It does feel like a potentially huge step towards more capable, collaborative AI.
Agreed. Solving that inter-agent communication problem is fundamental to unlocking the next level of AI applications.
So a final thought for everyone listening. Think about your own work, your business. Where are the current friction points, the bottlenecks? Could a network of collaborating AI agents, talking to each other using something like A2A, actually solve some of those? What specific agent team-ups would make the biggest difference for you?
That's the question to ponder. And definitely check out the A2A website and GitHub if this sparked your interest. See where it's heading.
And we'll be back with more deep dives into AI, automation, and whatever else is shaking up the landscape. Thanks for joining us.